Over the years, several young talents get called generational, and unfortunately, many never truly live up to the hype. However, when it comes to UConn's guard Paige Bueckers, she is one of a kind. In a world where Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are the faces of women's basketball, she's in a league of her own. A superstar in the making, at least according to many legends of women's basketball. So exactly how good is Paige Bueckers? Back in March 2024, one of the most respected voices in women's college basketball and the sport as a whole, longtime UConn head coach Gino Arima made the audacious statement when he called Paige,
"We have the best player in America."
The best player in the whole of America. Many could claim that Arima said this because he's her coach. However, this is what WNBA legend and the greatest women's college basketball player, Diana Taurasi, had to say when she first saw Paige Bueckers in her first year of college.
The first game I watched her play, I watched the first quarter, and I told Penny, and then after the game, I text Coach Arima, and I said she's the best player in basketball already.
What Taurasi saw was a player who gets her teammates involved, a college rookie whose vision is unlike anyone else. Taurasi saw a guard who could do it on both ends of the court, who could block a pass at her end and then weave the ball through defenders to reach an open teammate just in time for the perfect shot. I mean, there's a reason she won every single award she was eligible for as a rookie in college, becoming the first freshman to win a major National Women's College Player of the Year award, 4 in total: the AP Player of the Year, Naismith College Player of the Year, USBWA Women's National Player of the Year, and the John R. Wooden Award. Not many #1 recruits in the country live up to expectations, but Paige Bueckers exceeded them in just her first year of college basketball. Some would say it was expected, but trust me, not like this. Paige Buckets, as she's famously known, started playing basketball at the age of 5. Up until 7th grade, she was coached by her father, and at that time, she was already playing for the 10th grade and junior varsity basketball teams at Hopkins High School in Minnetonka. Well, fast forward to high school, and in her freshman debut for Hopkins High School, she scored 28 points, dished out 4 assists, and had 4 steals. As a freshman, Paige Bueckers averaged 20.8 points, 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 steals, and 4.1 assists per game, leading her team to a 31-1 record. Her sophomore year was even better as she improved her stats, averaging 22.3 points, 6.8 assists, and 5.9 rebounds per game, while guiding Hopkins to a 28-4 record. That same year, she made history when she became the first sophomore in 34 years to be named Star Tribune Metro Player of the Year. As a junior, she led Hopkins to an unbeaten 32-0 record, averaging 24.4 points, 5.1 assists, 4.9 rebounds, and 4.6 steals per game. And in that season, she hit 2,000 career points and even had a 43-point game. In her senior year of high school, Paige Bueckers once again led Hopkins to another unbeaten season, extending the team's consecutive winning streak to 62 wins. She averaged 21.4 points, 9.4 assists, 5.4 steals, and 5 rebounds per game, and for the 3rd consecutive year was named Star Tribune Metro Player of the Year. She was also named Gatorade Female High School Athlete of the Year, Gatorade National Player of the Year, Naismith Prep Player of the Year, and Morgan Wooden National Player of the Year. She finished high school as Hopkins' all-time leader in points, assists, and steals, and without a doubt, a 5-star recruit out of high school, ranked the #1 player in the 2020 class by ESPN. You know, a testament to how good she was in high school is the fact that every single coach whose team faced her had nothing but admiration for her. Molly Casper, the Eastview coach, recalled facing her in high school when she scored 23 points in the first half. "I remember being so defeated. Your heart's just like, okay, I don't know what else we can do in that moment. I flat out told them she's gonna be in the WNBA one day. And I was like, that's okay. So when she hits a tough shot in your face, look at her and say, nice shot, and turn around," said Casper. Stillwater coach Willie Taylor also had high praises for her, explaining that Bueckers reads opposing teams' plays like a defensive back. "Paige jumps the play like a defensive back," Taylor said. "That's not coaching. That's just a kid that's just got that desire, fire, and actually the God-given tools to make plays like that." Farmington Tigers head coach Liz Carpentier called her the best high schooler out of Minnesota. Because all parts of her game are so smooth and developed, Carpentier said. The thing that sets her apart is really her competitiveness. Her game mentality is at the highest level. When asked about Paige Bueckers, her retired high school coach Brian Cosgriff called her Plan P and likened her to Michael Jordan. It's like asking Phil Jackson, "What's it like being Michael Jordan's coach?" said Brian Cosgriff. Or asking Gino Arima, "What's it like being Diana Taurasi's coach?" I once heard Gino say that the difference in the game was, I had Diana Taurasi and they didn't. And that's kind of the way it was with Paige. We always had Plan A going into a game. And if that didn't work, we called it Plan P. Get the ball to Paige and let her do her thing. Well, fast forward to her first year at UConn, and now college coaches had to face the brunt of playing Paige buckets. As a freshman, Bueckers ranked 11th nationally in total points and 6th in total assists, leading UConn to Big East regular season and tournament titles before a trip to the Final Four. In her first year in college, she immediately became her team leader, averaging 20 points on 52.4% shooting and 46.4% behind the arc, 5.8 assists, 4.9 rebounds, and 2.3 steals per game. Her 168 assists were the most by a freshman in UConn's history. Another testament to how good Bueckers is the fact that there is no debate that Paige Bueckers' freshman season is one of the best in UConn and NCAA history. This is a team that has had generational talents like Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, and Brianna Stewart. Unfortunately, one reason there is not yet a general consensus that she is the best in UConn's history is because Bueckers hasn't always been healthy. There are a lot of ifs regarding what she could have accomplished if she had been healthy for most of her college career. In her sophomore year of college, she played only 17 games. She started the season recovering from surgery on her right ankle to repair an osteochondral defect, joint damage involving the bone and cartilage. When she finally made her debut, the UConn guard exploded for a career-high 34 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, ultimately matching the program's record for points in a season opener set by Carrie Bascom in 1989. Unfortunately for her, she got injured a month later. She was forced to miss her entire junior season due to an ACL injury. In 3 years, Paige Bueckers has suffered 2 major knee injuries, and it's a miracle she's back. Not just back though, but better. Since her return, Buckets has tied Maya Moore as the fastest player in UConn history to reach 1,000 career points, doing so in 55 games. In the regular season, she had her best season yet, as she averaged 21.9 points on 53% shooting, 5.2 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 2.2 steals, and 1.4 blocks. Her assists compared to her amazing rookie season dipped, but her playmaking was efficient. Well, one plausible explanation for why her assists dipped is that Bueckers is no longer the lead guard. Due to UConn's long list of injuries, she was forced to be the main pure scoring threat. Bueckers' ability to work without the ball in her hands allowed UConn to play her alongside KK Arnold and Nika Moule, who had to function as creators. And being the generational talent that she is, she adapted during the regular season to accommodate the skills of UConn's roster. Anyway, during the postseason, Paige Buecker averaged 27.9 points, 8.7 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 3.1 steals, and 2.6 blocks leading up to the Final Four. Before the Final Four loss to Caitlin Clark's Iowa, she was on a streak of 7 consecutive 20-point games, the second longest run by a UConn player in the past 25 seasons. Offensively, you can't argue that Paige Bueckers is not a phenomenal player, and this is despite her being very unselfish. Nevertheless, her defensive contributions can't be underestimated. At 5'11", Bueckers led the Huskies in blocks and steals per game. Her 4.3 defensive rebounds per game are second only to Aaliyah Edwards. In major conferences, Bueckers is just one of 6 players to average at least 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block per game. And among them, only 6'2" Juju Watkins blocked more shots than the UConn guard. You should know, her defensive stats are very impressive because the Huskies lost their starting center, Dorka Juhas, to the WNBA. So Bueckers had to step up, and boy, did she step up for the team. Paige Bueckers is by far one of the most complete female basketball players ever to grace the game. And even though injuries slowed her down for years, she's still the star she was always meant to be. Caitlin Clark's rise to stardom in women's basketball has been nothing short of remarkable. With her incredible scoring prowess and dynamic playing style, she's not just playing the game, she's redefining it. From her unforgettable performances on the court to her larger-than-life persona off it, here is Caitlin Clark's incredible journey and extraordinary lifestyle. I think you'll agree with us that when it comes to female basketball and probably sports worldwide, very few have their names mentioned as much as Caitlin Clark. She literally had one of the most insane college careers we've ever seen. But all this started way back in January 2002, when Caitlin was born. She was born in Des Moines, Iowa, and spent her childhood in West Des Moines with her parents Ann Nizzy Clark and Brent Clark. She was essentially the middle child in her family, with 2 siblings. Like most pro athletes today, Caitlin picked up an interest in basketball at the early age of just 5. But here's the interesting part. When she started playing, her dad couldn't find a girls' league for her age group, so she ended up joining the boys' league. Crazy, right? You see, before Clark zeroed in on basketball, she dabbled in a bunch of sports like softball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, and even golf. But one thing was always clear. Her destiny was on the court. Always had been. Despite just being a kid and playing against a gender that was considerably more physical, our girl Caitlin stood out, already dribbling the basketball like a pro and showing remarkable court instincts at age 5. She's credited this to her fierce competitive spirit and grit, which has pretty much gone on to define her game today. At just 13, she started dominating on the basketball court, outplaying players much older in girls' leagues. By 6th grade, she was already a member of the All-Iowa Attack, a powerhouse AAU basketball program in Ames, Iowa, where she remained until her high school graduation. Inspired by Maya Moore of the Minnesota Lynx, she and her dad went on 3.5-hour journeys to catch their games, fueling her passion for the sport. Clark attended Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines. Coached by the legendary Kristen Meyer, she started her freshman year averaging 15.3 points, 4.7 assists, and 2.3 steals per game. She won some sweet honors, like landing on the Class 5A All-State 3rd team by the Iowa Newspaper Association. Oh, and she led her team to the state tournament. Sophomore year rolled around, and Caitlin was on a mission. Dropping an average of 27.1 points per game, she was a scoring machine, ranking 2nd in the whole state. She racked up some accolades too, like being named first team All-State by the Iowa Print Sports Writers Association. Plus, she helped Dowling make it to the state quarterfinals. And get this, she even led her AAU team, the All-Iowa Attack, to victory in the Nike Elite Youth Basketball League Championships. She set a record with 42 points in a state tournament game. Plus, she was named Iowa Gatorade Player of the Year. In her senior year, she averaged over 33 points per game. She also won a couple of awards like Gatorade Player of the Year, Des Moines Register All-Iowa Athlete of the Year, and Iowa Miss Basketball, just to name a few. But wait, she wasn't just a basketball star. She was also a soccer sensation. Scored 23 goals in her freshman season, no big deal. And get this, colleges were already making her offers before she even hit high school. She received her first letter of interest from Missouri State before 7th grade. By her sophomore year at Dowling Catholic, she was already sitting pretty as the #1 player in the 2020 high school class. As her high school career wrapped up, she was hailed as a 5-star recruit and the 4th best player in her class. Her family had their sights set on Notre Dame, and she even made a verbal commitment to the school's head coach, Muffet McGraw. But she had a change of heart and decided to commit to playing college ball for Iowa instead. Why? Well, for one, she was drawn to the team's up-tempo style of play. Plus, she saw a golden opportunity to step into a key role in the team, with Kathleen Doyle, the reigning Big Ten Player of the Year, moving on. And just like that, Caitlin Clark's college basketball journey began to take shape. She kicked off her college basketball journey as Iowa's starting point guard and wasted no time making waves. In her debut game, she dropped 27 points, grabbed 8 rebounds, and dished out 4 assists, setting the tone for what was to come. Plus, she helped Iowa make waves in the tournaments, setting even more records along the way. Caitlin Clark's sophomore season was basically a highlight reel from start to finish. She dropped 26 points in her debut game and never looked back. She broke records when she scored a whopping 44 points in one game, becoming the fastest Big Ten player to reach 1,000 career points. Triple doubles? Oh, she's got those too. In fact, she became the first player in Division I history to record consecutive triple doubles with at least 30 points. And let's not forget her insane 46-point performance against Michigan, setting yet another record. She led Iowa to a share of the Big Ten regular season title and was unanimously named Big Ten Player of the Year. Plus, she dominated in the Big Ten tournament, earning MVP honors. Sure, there was a tough loss in the NCAA tournament, but overall, Caitlin Clark's sophomore season was nothing short of legendary. In her junior season, she became the first player in tournament history to play consecutive 40-point games. And let's not forget the awards. She scooped up every major National Player of the Year honor, becoming the first unanimous National Player of the Year in Big Ten history. With stats like hers, it's no wonder she's taken home all the hardware. She hit 1,000 career assists and then went on to become the NCAA Division I women's career scoring leader, surpassing legends like Kelsey Plum and Lynette Woodard. In one game, she racked up a career-high 49 points, along with a boatload of assists, totaling a mind-blowing 79 points responsible for her team's score. She even surpassed Pete Maravich to become the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I basketball. Yes, men's and women's combined. In the Big Ten tournament, she broke Steph Curry's and Darius McGee's records for most three-pointers in a single season by any Division I player. On February 29, 2024, Clark announced that she would declare for the 2024 WNBA draft, deciding to skip her 5th year of eligibility, which all players got due to COVID-19 craziness. Fast forward to April 2024, and Clark got snatched up as the first overall pick by the Indiana Fever. Then, just a bit later, she sealed the deal by signing for her rookie scale contract with the Fever. Let's break down her contract. Clark's rookie contract spans 4 years and amounts to $338,056 in total. Her earnings will gradually increase over the years, starting at $76,535 in 2024, then rising to $78,066 in 2025, $85,873 in 2026, and finally reaching $97,582 in 2027. Clark's WNBA deal sticks to the usual playbook for top players, with rookie paychecks varying based on where they land in the draft. And hey, off the court, Clark's got some serious clout too. Her name, image, and likeness, NIL, are valued at a cool $3.5 million in 2024, landing her in the 4th spot behind Bronny James, Shedeur Sanders, and Livy Dunn. From sports gear with Nike to refreshing drinks with Gatorade, and even insurance with State Farm, she's covering all the bases. Her lineup includes big players like Bose, Buick, and Hy-Vee. In total, she's racked up 11 known NIL deals. And with Caitlin Clark's star power, you can bet she'll be holding on to many of her sponsorship deals as she transitions into the Pro League. Caitlin Clark isn't just another basketball player. She's a once-in-a-generation talent, known by many as one of the greatest women's college basketball players ever. ESPN's Rebecca Lobo went as far as to name her the best offensive force since Diana Taurasi. That's some high praise. With her insane shooting skills and game-changing abilities, Clark's been called a game changer in women's hoops, drawing comparisons to none other than Stephen Curry himself. USA Today even likened her to Curry, saying she's rewriting the rules of what's considered a good shot in basketball. And according to the Wall Street Journal, she's not just a great shooter, she's reshaping the game with her shooting range and passing prowess, making her a force to be reckoned with on the court. Caitlin Clark's impact on women's basketball during her college years was nothing short of revolutionary, earning her the nickname the Caitlin Clark Effect. Her electrifying playstyle and deadly accuracy from long range drew in crowds like never before, with attendance and TV viewership for the sport skyrocketing. Thanks to Clark's Middle American appeal and confident on-court demeanor, she became a household name, attracting a wider audience to the NCAA tournament and even making the national championship game the most-watched women's college basketball game in history, with a whopping 9.9 million viewers. But her influence didn't stop there. During her senior season, her team sold out every home game for the first time ever, And they even set a women's basketball attendance record at a preseason exhibition game, packing in 55,646 fans. Everywhere they went, attendance records were shattered, with an average increase of 150% at each venue. And to top it all off, the 2024 Big Ten tournament sold out for the first time, proving that when Caitlin Clark's in town, people show up in droves to witness her magic on the court. During Caitlin Clark's farewell tour in Iowa, she turned every game into a must-watch event, setting records left and right. Her regular season matchups became the most viewed women's basketball games ever on a whopping 6 different TV networks, from the Big Ten Network to ABC, Fox, and beyond. But that's not all. Her final regular season game, where she marked her name in the Division I scoring record books, was a ratings magnet, drawing in the largest audience for a regular season women's basketball game since 1999. And when it came to the NCAA tournament, Clark reached even greater heights, with each of her last 3 games breaking viewership records. The grand finale, the national championship game, pulled in a whopping 18.9 million viewers, making it the most watched basketball game since 2019 and the first women's NCAA final to outdraw the men's. Talk about leaving a lasting legacy. Caitlin Clark is now hyped to become one of the best the WNBA has ever seen, if not the outright best. Only time will tell just how good she'll eventually become. But for now, what are your takes? Do you think she has what it takes to tear up the women's basketball world like the media and press claim? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section, and be sure to check out our other exciting videos on similar topics.